Hi guys, I'm here again, and we just got snow last night, November 22nd. Lots of snow, the pool's frozen. It's beautiful out. Alright guys, so, as you're probably seeing my somewhat intro, where I was showing you all the snow we got. So, I know you probably saw it in my last video. I had some Venus fly traps that I got, and they're coming along not bad. So this one's probably the best out of all of them, but the other ones that were almost dead, they're coming back and they're getting all new leaves there. And I've never been able to keep these alive, but look at that, 2 new leaves, one there, one there. Oh, and then there's 2 coming up here, one there, one there. Oh my gosh, and then there's 2 here. Oh, okay, so a lot more than I thought, but I'm going to transplant this into a 4-inch pot. So, yeah, I've never kept one alive. I've had one before, and it doesn't seem to stay alive. I've had them for like 2 weeks and they die. This I've had for almost a week now, and it's still putting out new growth. I've never had one that's put out new growth. It always dies before it can. So, if you have any advice, be sure to let me know. Let's start. So, what I'm doing right now is I'm just going to rip up some of this sphagnum moss that came from my old Venus flytrap that's now dead. And I had it like a year ago, and I never cleaned up the pot or threw it out. And I'm glad because now I have another one, but I need I need soil, so I'm gonna mix peat moss and this stuff. So here, let me grab a bowl or something. Okay, well, I got this one. Okay, so I'm gonna pour some peat moss. So I have one of these full, right, of sphagnum, because this is what came with my Venus flytrap when I bought it. And of course it was moist, so it would pack down more. I'm just packing it down. So I have about 1 part of this, and I'm just gonna have this like right there, and I am going to get peat moss and get 1 part peat moss too. Oh, I'm not in frame. Okay, that's better. So I'm just going to pack it down, because this does expand a little bit. So I can get a little more in there. And I do know that you can't have any nutrients, so that's why I'm using this. So now I'm going to put this in the bowl. 1 part. Okay. And this moss is a little better, so I'm not sure what I'll use, but yeah. Right, okay, so now I have this pot I can use for something else. Seedlings, some sort. Now I'm going to put some water in here and mix it in. Right, but you need melted snow, so I'm going to go get some snow. Okay, so I got my snow. Just going to let it melt. Okay, so I got it pretty well melted. Now I'm going to pour it Or some in the peat moss. That much is probably good. And I'm not going to show it because my battery's almost dead. But I'll get back when my battery's charged, and that's also... Okay, so I finished this. And I got some peat moss and it's been soaking. I stirred it around so it's nice and good. Now I'm going to get the sphagnum. I did add a little more peat moss because it was really watery. I'm going to add the sphagnum. And I've never done this before. So tell me if I'm doing anything wrong. Doesn't take long for sphagnum to rehydrate apparently, so. Oh my gosh, that's nowhere near enough. That's probably half the pot. Okay. So I'm gonna put you on the tripod. Or not the tripod, but like something to kind of hold it up. Okay. Now I'm going to use this little pot to scoop. Let's just see how much is actually in there. So I don't know how much more we need. Okay, so a lot of water is draining out. Just gonna like pack it down and squeeze it. That was bad measuring, that's what I... Okay, so I'm gonna take this out of the pot. See how root bound it is. There's nothing to grab to pull it out of the pot. So I'm just grabbing it like in the dirt here. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna pop that in. Back in the... See, so I emptied that back into the bucket. I'm gonna carefully remove some of the roots. Or not remove... Sorry, not the roots. I'm gonna carefully move the loose sphagnum moss that just kind of falls off. gonna leave it at this. See, I think these roots are dead. I'm not sure. Maybe not, no, there's a white tip there. Okay, so I just tried to use some of that moss. See? So I can have more mix. I'm gonna add a little more peat moss. Okay, so I added a bit more peat moss. Now I'm going to stir it again. And this is the mix I ended up with. I think that's pretty good. Not too much peat. There's a little more peat than moss, but I'm just making do with what I have. You can use straight peat, I've heard, but oh, there's a big root. I heard you can use straight peat, but I just didn't do that because I don't know, I didn't have a lot of peat. I only have like to here left. Not much. So that's what I have. And it's a little more fibrous. Don't just ignore what I did in the beginning where I said 1 part, because I have no idea how much I used. I probably used like 3 parts peat, and then obviously 2 packed down parts of moss and 3 packed down parts of peat. But you can see the fibers in there of the moss, just gives it a bit more air. So okay, yeah. Alright, now I'm gonna go up too low still. I might need to make a little more, but I think actually I think that's good. Okay, I think I can add just a tiny bit more. So I'm just gonna get some of the moss and put it, or the peat moss, not the sphagnum moss, the peat moss. Probably about that much. Get my snow water again. You don't need all that much. It's like cement, you want to start out with a little bit. Okay, that was like nowhere near enough. Okay, so that might be enough. I think that's enough. peat moss doesn't expand when you add water. It kind of like shrinks down. So you saw how much I put in. Now it's at this much. So yeah. Okay, so I'm being careful not to bury it past the already buried point. It's not even in the middle. Oh well. I don't know, it looks... So I've just plain peat moss on top, but down here it's peat moss and sphagnum. So yeah, I think that looks good. I'm gonna just leave it at that for now, and I'll let you know how it does. Please tell me how, like, I have this one under a grow light. Well, not really a grow light, just a regular light. And it puts off a bit of heat, not much, but it's very bright. So just let me know, and I had it in this Ziploc bag. Let me know if I'm doing anything wrong, if there's a better way to do this. I'd love to know. So, yeah. You've seen my grow light in past videos. So, yep. Well, I'll let you know how it goes. Thanks for watching. Tell your friends about my channel. So I know one of you out there, Heart Full of Happiness, I know you said you subscribed to my channel. So make sure you let your friends know. I'd love to get a bunch of views on my channel. It'd be really cool. So thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a thumbs up, rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.